The internet graphic of the week belongs to my boy at Kofi on Twitter. He tweeted, "What's the most out of nowhere sports performance of all time?" Abe, take it away.
Okay, so my instant gut reaction is obviously Nick Foles. However,
Ooh.
I'm gonna shift here a little bit. Tell me why it's not Leicester City winning the Premier League.
Interesting. So
let me caveat.
Yeah.
Let me caveat. I have no idea the logistics of what it takes in order to win a Premier League. I have no idea if you have to go on like a crazy March Madness tournament run of beating a bunch of teams in a row. I have no idea if it's goal scoring. But what I do know about Leicester City, I meant like aggregate goals. But what I do know about Leicester City is that they're like the biggest underdog in sports history, and it's the biggest came out of fucking nowhere championship pretty much of all time. So to answer the question quite literally, like the Eagles were still the fifth favorite to win the Super Bowl or something
and I was going to say,
the playoffs
and
at
Foles
that time.
it wasn't Foles 27-2 season.
27-2 in a season, but like we were underdogs in each one of the game, but like we were plus 250 in the Super Bowl. Like what was Leicester City to win the Premier League? Exactly. And so for that reason, I'm going to go Leicester City.
I'll caveat. I think that's an incredible answer. I love that you went there. Most people went player specific, right? So I think that was kind of like the basis for it a little bit.
Well, it's my podcast.
Exactly. And it's your interpretation of the question too. So I like that. I'm going to go with Linsanity. I mean, this guy was a D League back then. He came out of nowhere and then captivated the world, literally the world. He was this nerdy kid from Harvard who could shoot the basketball a little bit, and then was dropping buckets on Kobe. And like each game, it was just like, okay, tonight it ends. And then for like a couple of weeks, it just didn't end. The game winner against the Raptors. He was living on his teammate's couch. And then, he actually did hang around a little bit and showed he's a decent hooper. But, like, out of nowhere, how do you even go from that to the star of the world? I don't know if there's ever been, like, okay, I'll put it like this. If Mac McClung then went on to play, like, an all-star for the next 3 weeks for the Sixers, that's, like, the equivalent of what the Linsanity run was like. It was like that seminal moment. But then it was the continue of that moment where every game it was must-watch TV. So I'm gonna say him.
I do love the Mac McClung comparison because I think that's a good comparison. But what I will say, and maybe this is just the hater in me, would Linsanity have been as insane if it wasn't in a New York Knicks uniform with the New York media?
No, I don't think so.
If Jeremy Lin was a Charlotte Hornet and went on the Linsanity run, hitting step backs over Kobe game winners, I don't think we would remember. I don't think there'd be Netflix documentaries.
Probably not, but I think that's what makes it even crazier was the fact that he did it in the New York media.
As usual, the New York media favoritism as per usual.
Couple shouts here. So you've got Matt Flynn's performance against the Detroit Lions. He outdueled actually Matt Stafford. He threw 6 touchdowns. Talk about like one game earning you fucking $50 million. Shout out Matty Flynn. Another one that was in the comment section that I was honestly forgetful of. Jonas Gray, running back for the New England Patriots, had 37 carries, 200-plus yards, and 4 touchdowns in a random Week 8 matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. So that one got another shout. And I'm sure you guys can think of a bunch of others. But
Peyton Hillis was on
like
Madden.
Our picks. Yeah, we're thinking more like time, length here. And a lot of these responses were like these one-off performances. Corey Brewer, 51 points, those type of cats that just went absolutely ballistic. I think at this point, with the way the NBA is built, like it's not going to shock me if, more Cam Thomases score 40 points in 3 consecutive games. It just doesn't feel as unachievable. But Corey Brewer scoring 51 is nuts.